Live from Gahanna, WGLH-TV presents Lincoln Live with Allison Shepard and Natalie Fogel. Lincoln Live starts now.
Hello Lincoln, I'm Natalie Fogel.
And I'm Allison Shepard.
A few times a year we like to take a break from this normal school news and address important issues.
One of those days is today. We will have some school announcements for you later in the show.
We want to start off our show today talking about something that has highly impacted people all over the world, including these here in Gahanna.
The news has been the purpose to educate and inform the public.
The Israel-Palestine conflict has been the topic of a polarizing debate in America.
Our teachers Sweeney and Delina Humbilla examined the Israel-Palestine conflict.
It is an all-out war. That's how Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Dayan described an invasion.
Israeli forces are on the ground attack on Gaza.
On October 7th, 2023, the Israel-Palestine war was brought back to mainstream media attention after Israel was bombed by Hamas, a terrorist group within Palestine. However, this war has been going on for decades beforehand.
Prior to World War II, it was a territory, it was a colony of Great Britain. After World War II, Great Britain has to give up its colonies, and the United Nations takes it over. In 1948, the United Nations will decide to create an Israeli-Palestinian state. With that creation, there was supposed to be land that goes to both parties. Comes along in 1978, we've got Jimmy Carter, and he is going to bargain a peace deal between Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin, where you're going to have the actual establishment of the Palestinian state, as well as a Jewish state of Israel. That worked for a little bit, but then it wasn't working. 1993, you have Bill Clinton working with Yasser Arafat, and you had Yitzhak Rabin. Both of these gentlemen have a long history with development of that country, both admired by both sides. Both agreed to create an official Palestinian state, an official Israeli state, and that promised land is one that's in dispute, and thus that's why we have the problems with our territory today.
After the bombing in Israel on October 7th by Hamas that NPR reports left over 1,400 Israelis dead, the Israeli military has been retaliating with bombs throughout Palestinian territory in an effort to find and defeat the leaders of Hamas, such as the heavily occupied Gaza Strip, which according to a picture released by the Israeli military has led to 5 Hamas leaders dead and more than 17,000 civilians dead, according to the health ministry in Gaza. Even though the conflict is nations away, students at our school still have strong opinions regarding what they believe.
I think it's really important that people know what Hamas has done. I think it's really important that people know what Israel's doing to defend themselves. It's really bad how many innocent lives have been lost.
He was first to be hit. The girl he was with managed to run away, thanks to God. Then the terrorist entered and fired inside.
I support ceasefire in large part because of my upbringing, because of my Jewish heritage, and it taught me to respect humanity of people, respect people's rights. The people of Palestine, they deserve to live where they've lived. They have every right to live there as much as anyone else, and I think that a ceasefire would be the route that leads to the least human suffering.
Specifically, part of my religion, Israel is like the motherland for me, so I have felt very connected to Israel all my life. And I also have a lot of friends and family that are in Israel right now. Some are in Gaza along the borders fighting for the IDF, and then some are in the north and trying to stay as calm as possible. I feel like with all that's going on, even though I'm in America, I have to be aware of everything that's going on and care for that.
People get educated on how exactly the 7th of October attack came to happen, because it wasn't just a random attack that happened. There were things that, caused it, and once people get educated on that and once people see the entire side rather than just taking everything at face value, I think that's when you start to see people who understand and support against the ethnic cleansing and the genocide of Palestinians.
According to the Oxford Dictionary, the definition of genocide is the deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group. And the definition of ethnic cleansing is the mass expulsion or killing of members of an unwanted ethnic or religious group in a society. An argument of those who are pro-ceasefire meaning that an agreement is made between two armies to stop fighting, say that due to the amount of civilian Palestinians who have died, this war is an instance of modern-day genocide and ethnic cleansing. Those who do not believe in a ceasefire think that the death of the Palestinians is a matter of defense, and that genocide and ethnic cleansing is not the intention of the Israeli Defense Army. With such strong stances, people in Gahanna supporting Palestine and Israel are able to do so in their own ways. For instance, student Gabby Russell is president of the Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio region of BBYO, a Jewish youth group that branches worldwide.
We have raised money for a fund for Maccabi Tzair, which is our partner company that's in Israel, which is essentially another youth group for teens that are in Israel, and they have a campus in Tel Aviv where they've taken in displaced persons. Right now we've raised over $100,000.
People are boycotting big brands that support, that fund weapons for Israel, and the three main ones are McDonald's, Starbucks, and Disney. And there are aid trucks outside of Gaza trying to get in, and they're not able to get in right now. But yeah, donations help, but not right now. They will help later though.
As students find their own ways to support groups in the war, one thing stands out as most important: to be able to be respectful.
Something that's really personal to me is seeing the rise in anti-Semitism. Since October 7th, there's been a 400% increase in anti-Semitism, and we see it all over our school, in the world, and it's terrifying. I think regardless of what you follow or what side you believe on, if you're going to share your opinion and speak out against it, I think it's so important to understand that people feel this way because of different things that they know and different people they know, and it's so important to learn about more than just what you hear.
GLHS, seeing the documentation of this war on the news and in media is your call to educate yourself as we experience history. Do not look back on this event and say that you did not know both sides, or that you were blind to the trauma of both Palestinian and Israeli civilians.
Thanks, TJ and Delina. Well, Natalie, it looks like there's someone else in the studio with us today.
You know, I thought I saw something out of the corner of my eye.
Hey, Taylor.
Hey, guys.
What do you have for us today?
Why Women and Why Men is officially back, but under a new name, Why Lead. Why Lead stands for Youth Leaders of Excellence, Action, and Diversity. Why Lead is having their first meeting of the year today. We talked to Jamie Curtis for more details. Here she is.
Why Lead is having their first meeting today in the auditorium, 5th and 6th period, so come down for your lunch period and all are welcome. If you're a new member and you're interested in seeing what we're all about, come down, and if you're an old member from last year being in Why Men and Women, come down to see what this year's Why Lead is going to be all about. In today's meeting, we're going to be talking about the annual toy drive that we are running, and we're going to be talking about gift giving and holiday seasons that we all celebrate. So yeah, it's going to be super fun, and I can't wait to see everyone.
Thanks, Jamie. The robotics team is working hard the last few weeks before winter break starts to finalize their base ROV. All of the branches are focusing on their parts to be able to assemble the robot as a whole during their meeting yesterday. These include assembling the frame, making motor mounts, furthering programming, and social media posts. We talked to Madeline Ohl and Evelyn Cahill to discuss the future goals for the team.
Goal before winter break is to have a completed ROV. That way we can continue adding things like specific tool packages for the mission that we're going to have for our competition, so that after break we can just work on those.
All of our branches are doing their specific parts in order to get the robot ready. So this means finalizing the frame, doing PR, programming the robot. So it's just a lot of pieces that need to come together before winter break to make sure that we're on our timeline.
Thanks, guys. Well, that's all the news I have for you. Back to Allison and Natalie at the news desk.
Thanks, Taylor.
Students taking the government class have their state test tomorrow morning instead of going into their classes. For most seniors, this is the last required state test before graduation. But that doesn't mean there needs to be a lot of stress that comes with it. We spoke with government teacher Mr. Smith to get his advice for the upcoming test. Here he is.
For the tests, just get a good night's sleep, eat a good breakfast, and don't stress. You know all the content, you just gotta do your best and you'll be fine.
Thanks, Mr. Smith. On Friday, the boys basketball team destroyed Westland 85-65. Leading scorers for the game were Jonathan Whiteside with 18 points, Xavier Rogers with 11 points, and Nas Turner with 10 points. The boys are now 3-1 to kickstart their season, and they are now heading into their home game this Friday against rival Pickerington Central. Good luck, boys.
After a successful concert on Sunday, Chorale's holiday season has just begun. They begin touring for the district tomorrow, presenting their holiday concert for all to see. After a break from COVID, Chorale is returning to this tradition. We talked to Clara Booker to learn what this tour means to her. Here she is.
Every year, Chorale, when they do their Christmas concert, we go on tour to the elementaries and middle schools, and I think it's so fun because it inspires kids to want to join choir when they grow up. I know when I saw Chorale come to my elementary school, it was like a huge motivator for me to like do choir, and I've been doing choir ever since 6th grade, and now I'm in Chorale, so it's just really exciting.
Thanks. That's all the news we have for you today.
Reminder, there's no show tomorrow, as well as no homeroom.
Farewell.
Farewell.